All right, guys, I stole that exact title and thumbnail from a daily refinement video that came out 6 years ago. Now let's talk about the title of this video. The reason why I used this title and this exact thumbnail was to illustrate the point that this is nothing new. Not only were people talking about slow sales on eBay and Amazon 6 years ago, but also our good friend Reagan Profit, people were talking about slow sales 11 years ago. All right, allow me to show you guys 6 or 7 more examples throughout the years about how eBay sales have been slow every single month of every single year, really since I was born, 1995. I was born the same year as eBay, including my very own video 1 year ago. This is the only reason why your sales are slow on eBay or Amazon. It's us. It's you. It's me. It's our psychological and biological condition to always do what's necessary to survive, not to thrive, but just to get through the day. It's our insecurities of needing something else to blame besides ourselves when what we're doing doesn't go as planned or even as it was going. I was talking with my good friend Carrie American Arbitrage in my latest podcast and after the show about the deficits that I have as a business owner and especially as a instructor here on YouTube. And that is my inability to feel empathy. It's hard for me to process emotions, especially negative ones from other people. And I've been working on how to do that better. And I really want this video to come across as a very positive one that helps you guys make more money than you ever have and spend more time with your family than you ever have. I don't want you to think that I am blaming you and that it's all your fault, that you have slow sales and that you deserve them. I want you guys to make more sales, and I truly believe this is the best way how to. We've heard this many times from many people that in every single industry, the top 20% get 80% of the sales. That means if there's 10 salesmen selling 100 products, 2 of them are selling 80, while 8 are only selling 20. So I guess the whole point of this channel is to help you guys become top 20% resellers, and honestly beyond that to become top 5% and 1%, and maybe even someday the top 1% of the 1%. But that takes a lot of time and skill acquisition and humility and work. But that's beside the point. I'm just a 28-year-old guy, but I've been around a ton of successful people, and I've had opportunities to meet a lot of just amazing people, successful in business, in their relationships with God and their family, in leading their communities, just a ton of really special people that I've met. And I want to talk to you guys about one in particular that I think can help all of us on eBay. And that man is Andrew Osler. For 5 years, I did summer sales where I went to a different state and I sold pest control door to door. The guy who recruited me and managed me into that world was good old Andy. Andy was really good at summer sales, man. Really good at selling people, really anything, but especially pest control. And I think even he would admit that he wasn't the most talented salesman, but he just kept working. The biggest day of summer sales is Memorial Day because people are off of work, so you have the chance to talk to more decision makers at the home, and a lot of people are gardening and barbecuing and doing some stuff outside, so they're noticing ants and spiders and things, and you can capitalize on that, okay? So the day leading up to, and even the week leading up to, all of the company and all the managers are hyping us up, saying this is going to be an incredible day, and they are giving out huge incentives, okay? So in this job, I was already making like $500 per sale. Why isn't that motivation enough, right? But on top of that, if you got 5 sales, if you had your best day ever, they would give you like a $200 Amazon gift card. If you got double-digit sales, if you got 10, then you would get like a $400 Patagonia jacket. If you got 20, then you'd get like $600 Amazon gift card, plus everything behind that, plus like a Ruth's Chris $200 card for steak. Anyway, super huge incentives. Everyone's super pumped, super awesome. We had about 300 salesmen in our company across the country, and we would average about 1,000 sales per day. Our software and our infrastructure could handle 1,000 sales per day. All of a sudden, Memorial Day comes around, And in the first 2 hours of the day, we already have 1,000 sales from all across the country. And the platform crashes. It crashes. It was terrible. You can't get sales because you can't sign people up and put them into the system and get them en route with the technician. You can't do it, right? Andrew texts the group. We had a little group chat. So he was the owner of a branch, and then I was a manager, and we had a little text group, and he texts the group and he says, "This is where boys become men. Everyone else in the company is going to sit under a bush and have a sandwich while we are out there with our notepads, writing down names and credit card numbers and just picking random slots, and we are getting these sales. And once the software is up, you'll be able to put all of that information in, and you're going to beat the competition. You're going to get all of the incentives, and this is going to be awesome." Andrew kept killing it. I kept killing it. And there were about 8 guys under me. 7 of them said this is BS and threw their iPad on the ground and went to a gas station and had a sandwich. Andrew ended up just slaughtering it. I ended up doing really well. I made the most money I had ever had in one day that day, and it was awesome. And everyone blamed the software. Does that sound a little familiar? A lot of people blame eBay. A lot of people blame the platform. A lot of people blame the glitches. Andrew, I did as well, but I didn't perform as well as Andrew did. Andrew had every opportunity to blame the software, and he made a ton of money that day. And if it wasn't for him just saying, you know what, I don't care what happens, okay? The whole freaking, everything can go wrong, and I will make money for me and my family. I had a few more examples of people that I wanted to talk about that have taught me how to be that top 20% in any industry, but I want to talk more about how to actually be a top 20% reseller and how to actually make your sales faster, regardless of the time period and regardless of the economic factors and platform factors. This is where the average person does not like what I'm about to say, and they don't connect with it because the average person wants to get rich quick. They want the hack. They want the magic pill that makes everything better. And the only way to truly increase your sales on eBay is to increase the content of your character. It is to become a better salesperson, to become a better business owner, to become a better society member of our great nation and world. If you want your sales to increase on eBay, don't do anything on eBay. Do things that will improve you and your quality of life. I had a great mentor. He was the president of my Mormon mission, where I was out in a different country for 2 years teaching people the gospel of Jesus Christ. And he said, "Show me your morning and I'll show you your mission." And I have kept that close to my chest, and I have applied it in every practice of my life. Show me your morning, I'll show you your business. Show me your morning, I'll show you your bank account. And it doesn't have to be your morning, and it doesn't have to be when you wake up, but it is preferred. The very first things that you do in your day is take care of yourself, take care of your relationships, and take care of your business. If you can wake up and immediately get to work on the things that matter most in your life and in your business, you will make more money than everyone else around you. Coming onto YouTube to watch how to improve your eBay business is very important, and I encourage people to do that. But much more than that, I encourage people to read. I encourage people to read The Richest Man in Babylon, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Atomic Habits, 7 Habits of Highly Effective Human Beings, How to Make Friends and Influence People. Those are the books that are going to make you way more money on eBay and Amazon and outside of this e-commerce business than listening to Jay Wright flips. I'm here to help you with small hacks and business mindset and things like that. But you can just crumble up everything I've ever said, throw it in the trash can, and just read 4 or 5 of those books that I listed, and you will succeed far more than if you were to just listen to some guy on YouTube. But it's more important to fix your mindset and to really become a go-getter than it is to worry about promoted listings on eBay. It's much more important to have a great relationship with your spouse than it is to have great photos on eBay. It is much more important to understand your why and what keeps you motivated than it is to even list things on eBay. If you can accomplish what it takes to become a better person, if you improve yourself, your eBay business and your bank account will improve right along with you, because it's just normal. If you become a better person, you'll be a better business owner. You will do more in your business. You'll have more time for your business and for your wife and for your kids and for your community and for everything else in your life. And I don't want this video to be too long and to be too philosophical, but if you can improve your relationships, you will improve your business. A lot of us can't tell our spouses or our family members how much we make per hour, per week, per month. You can do that. There's some calculations that I've talked about in other videos, but if you can actually sit down with your spouse, I'm talking to you guys, but I'll use myself as an example. If I can sit down with my wife and say, honey, what do you picture life being today, a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? And if she can share with me that picture, and I can share with her mine, and we can discuss my weaknesses getting there and my strengths helping us to get there and her weaknesses holding us back from that and her strengths that are going to push us toward that, we're going to get there. If we're just blindly, aimlessly walking about trying to accomplish this future that we haven't even talked about, we're never going to be able to do it. If I can sit down with my wife and say, this is how many hours is necessary to make this much money. This is what I have to do each hour with this productivity threshold to maintain or to build to where we want to get to. These are the things that I can make it to, and these are the things that I have to miss and to sacrifice in order to get to that picture that you and I both see in our heads. When you can have that real conversation with your wife, with your parents, with your community, when you can let other people know, this is what I'm doing, and this is why I'm doing it, and this is how we're going to get to what we get to, I promise your sales will increase on eBay. I promise your sales will get faster, because you're going to sit down and you're actually going to do what's necessary to get that done, whether it's through listing items, learning how to get better at listing those items, learning faster shipping processes, having a better relationship with everyone around you, giving you that time to sit down and actually figure things out. And just knowing that you have people behind you that support you and love you, you're just gonna make so much more money than you ever have and have much more time to spend with them once you're clocked out. I strongly believe that one of the best things that you can do to improve yourself is to improve your financial situation. And one of the best ways to do that is to sit down, write out your budget, and talk about with yourself and with your spouse how much money you're spending and how much you shouldn't be. Get out of debt completely, okay? I really like Dave Ramsey. I agree with the majority of things that he says to an extent. I believe that there is much more to finance once you get to a certain threshold, but getting out of consumer debt completely is a fantastic idea, and I believe that you should all do that. If you guys can better yourself to get to a point where you can pay off all of your debts and owe nothing to no one, the stress that melts away from that is incredible. Just knowing that all of the money that's going to your bank account can stay there if you want it to. You can still spend money on the things that you love. You can still do whatever you want with your money, but when you don't owe any money on a car payment, when you don't owe any money on credit cards, when you don't owe any money to a federal organization such as a university, when you have zero medical debt, it's incredible. It is just incredible. You can live an amazing life because of all that stress that melts away. And with that less stress, you can have amazing relationships. And with those amazing relationships, you can amplify what you're doing at work and in your community. That's just amazing. Guys, I know that many people come to YouTube looking for the best promotion strategy or the bolos to look for, or the best title structure, or if delist relist works, or how to hack the algorithm, or they want to come here to complain about eBay and complain about all of these things stopping them from making money. I promise you guys, with as much love and humility that I can boast with this, it is your fault if your sales are slow. And even if you do everything right, sales may be down 20% from what they historically are. But what I'm saying is, if we put limitations on some of the best entrepreneurs in the world, they would still find a way to win, because it's not what they're doing, it's who they are. So be the best entrepreneur you can be. One last story I want to share with you guys that I think is very powerful and can help all of us. There was an e-commerce owner, and he had built up his business to be fairly large, dozens of employees doing hundreds of thousands of dollars in product sales per day. He had 2 managers. One manager was in charge of making sure that everything was going up smoothly, and then the other was in charge of making sure that everything was shipped out smoothly. And they were paid a very good salary to do these things. One day, the business owner looked across all of the numbers of the business, and he found that there were rare and infrequent what he labeled as defects. This is things not making it to the customer on time because of FedEx or USPS or UPS. He also was noticing that some of these listings had errors in the titles or descriptions of the items that were being put on all of these platforms. He went to both these managers and said, I have a new incentive for you. And that is that I will continue to pay you your exact salary, your money, your base income will not be affected whatsoever. And each month I will also be giving you a $1,000 bonus for having 0 defects. These 2 managers immediately began to complain to the business owner and said, we already run a very tight ship, and all of the defects that we are reporting are outside of our control. Therefore, we will never be able to hit the $1,000 bonus. The company owner said, that's okay. You're already making an amazing salary. I am happy with the defects, the rate of defects that we are receiving, but if you can get them to 0, you will make $1,000 per month. You will not lose any money. You will only gain money if we get to 0. Guess what happened? All of the defects that were outside of these people's control went away. They spent more time with the employees listing the items. They increased their relationship with UPS and FedEx, and they made sure that they were always in constant communication with people, even though things were already going smoothly. They just improved their work capacity and content of their character, and they made more money because of it on things that were actually outside of their control. You can't control if you live in Utah and you're shipping something to Kentucky and the FedEx truck rolls over on the highway in Illinois. You just can't control that. But for some reason, when you actually sit down and just take care of yourself and your business, things improve. I'm not saying that all of the defects that you guys are experiencing in your business will go away if you just improve yourself, but I kind of saying that they are. And if you get to a point where you are a better person, you're making much more money, when those defects come, you have so much peace in your life and you are making so much more money than you're used to that losing $18 is no big deal. Having someone return a new item in used condition is no big deal because you love yourself and everyone around you. You have the freedom of no debt and you are making much more money than you ever have. I hope this was positive. I hope it wasn't super boring, and I hope you guys realize that sales will always be slow for 80%, and they will always be great for 20%.